Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at McFarlane's DC Direct, the new Batman Adventures, Killer Croc and Baby Doll. This is Killer Croc and Baby Doll has appeared in the Season 4 Batman the Animated Series, a little bit redesigned. I pre-ordered this thing for the McFarlane toy store, utilized the bundle discount and the coupon code, got a pretty good price, and they arrived today. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, McFarlane Toys, Killer Croc and Baby Doll, ages 12 plus, the new Batman Adventures. Here they are in the package. It looks like we have 4 hands for Croc, a big giant turkey, an actual baby bottle for Baby Doll, then we have a display stand, and some artwork from the cartoon. One side of the package, Killer Croc and Baby Doll. Other side, Killer Croc and Baby Doll. At the back, here they are posed up. At the bottom, there's their barcode, in case that helps anybody. So with no further ado, let's open them up. And as always, I did get 2 of these figures, one of which to open and enjoy, the other one to keep unopened in my complete Batman and related unopened action figure collection. And I dug out my original DC Direct, the new Batman Adventures, Killer Croc and Baby Doll set. Looks like not a lot of differences, but we'll check that out in depth in the video. So here's this entire wave. Like I said, I got it from the McFarlane toy store. And there are minimal differences from the original releases, which is disappointing to somebody who's been all in since the beginning of this line. And here are the original releases by DC Direct of these 4 figures. Nice re-release for those who missed them. And as you guys are aware, I got 2 of these bundles. Now I checked my order history at the McFarlane toy store, and even after shipping and taxes, they came out to $21 per figure. Not a bad deal. And here's my entire collection of DC Direct Batman the Animated Series figures. I have them all unopened, and it looks like we have 4 more to add to the collection. Alright, now that these figures out of the package, here they are with all their accessories laid out. We have a display stand that's intended for Killer Croc. We have some art from the episode. Killer Croc has a total of 4 hands, and then this turkey, and then Baby Doll has a little baby bottle. But before we take a look at all that, let's talk about and check out the figure. So this is Killer Croc and Baby Doll from the new Batman Adventures, specifically the episode Love is a Croc. Now you might think to yourself, why would they make Killer Croc and Baby Doll in the same package? Well, they work together in that episode. And you might think, why would they ever work together? Well, they both have diseases. Killer Croc has a skin condition that makes him look like, well, a crocodile. And Baby Doll has a disease where she just doesn't age. She's stuck as a little kid forever. So they're both outcast of society. Everyone looks at them really weird and shuns them. When they met up, they had that in common, ended up working together, but of course, it didn't last for long. Now personally, I prefer the designs from Batman the Animated Series on Killer Croc and on Baby Doll. I really wish they would give us a Batman the Animated Series version of Baby Doll, but for now, this'll do. So let's take a look. Starting with Killer Croc, he's pretty big. It's interesting that they chose the biggest figure in the wave to make another character pack in, but he's the only one that would make sense. He's got yellow eyes, all the jagged teeth. He has these lines across his back and forehead. Does have single jointed elbow. No jointed knees. He has what looks like sort of an ab crunch here. As a whole, he looks good. It's this dark green paint job. And he looks like Killer Croc from the new Batman Adventures, but looks kind of weird at the same time. And then, of course, we have Baby Doll. I love the obscure Batman villains, and you don't get much more obscure than Baby Doll. She does have articulation, not a ton, but pretty cool. Really like the original Baby Doll figure because she's just this obscure villain, and that is right up my alley. And then here's Killer Croc, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Now let's take a look at their accessories. And technically, Baby Doll's probably an accessory to Killer Croc, but to me, she's a whole nother character, a whole nother action figure, and probably the one I'm more excited for between the 2. So let's start off with the display stand. It comes in 3 separate pieces. When put together, it's going to look like this. We have the base that says the new Batman Adventures, and a post that connects in to the top where it'll clamp on your figure, helping them stand up. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of display stands. I like my figures to stand up freely on their own. but it can be useful as some of these animated figures are difficult to get to stand. Now let's look at the animation cell reproduction. Now this is not an original animation cell as this is mass produced, but it's still kind of cool if you're into that sort of thing. As you can see, Killer Croc confronting Baby Doll, the new Batman Adventures. On the backside, New Batman Adventures, animation cell reproduction from Love is a Croc, Season 1, Episode 13. Little description, if you want to read that, pause now, and some other details and information. It has a little punch out here you can use to sort of display it. Cool, but doesn't do much for me. Now let's take a look at his hands. He has a total of 4 of them, 2 left hands and 2 right hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are some open hands. They could be some grabbing, choking, or throwing hands. And then his second pair of hands. This is a pair of gripping hands. We also have this turkey. Killer Croc was eating giant turkeys in the sewer. I don't know, just a thing I guess. Looks good for a Thanksgiving turkey if you ever want to do a display like that. Brown, glossy paint, head's removed, has some of the leg bones exposed. No articulation, kind of cool prop if you're ever doing a Thanksgiving setup. Here's Killer Croc holding and getting ready to eat that turkey. Maybe it's a chicken, but it looks like a turkey to me. Now to check out the differences between McFarlane's re-release of this Killer Croc and the original DC Direct version. We have the re-release on the left and the original on the right. Now there are some paint differences. I think the new one has a better paint job. Beyond that, it's 100% the same figure, same sculpt, and same articulation. So let's take a look. Starting with their faces. I mean, the face is exactly the same, but the paint job is a lot darker on him. In mine, I don't know, it has like these sort of water spots on him. I don't remember ever getting this guy wet or heating him up for any articulation reasons. I'm not sure what's up with that. Pants are a little darker on the new one versus the old one. As a whole, I think I like the new one better, but it's not a big difference. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now for his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing at about 6.8 inches tall, which can translate to just over 17 centimeters. And now for his articulation. Starting with his head, it's on ball joint. You can rotate from side to side, look up and down a pretty good amount. Can tilt from side to side. It actually has a very good range of motion on the head there. Shoulders and ball joint only goes out a little bit, much less than 90 degrees. Kind of disappointing. Beyond that, up, down, around, all that good stuff. Single jointed elbow goes in very little, much less than 90 degrees again, with rotation. And then his wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged. His torso is very interestingly done. Has a ball joint, rotate around, and then it also has an ab crunch down there, forward and back. I don't know if I've ever seen anything quite like that before, and just, very unique. No waist swivels, kind of surprising. Legs, they go out this far, and they look absolutely hideous like that. Oh my god. And then go forward, about that far, back, about that much. Really surprised about no knee articulation. And his ankles, there's a lot of strain on there. I can feel they already seem a little bit loose. And I would imagine, because he's kind of top heavy, maybe the knees would be a difficult thing, but I would still like knee articulation. Ankles, forward and back, can tilt and rock, and we do have sort of a boot cut below the pant leg for rotation. Now let's take a look at Baby Doll. She's got that little sort of pink kid's dress, little shoes, and the sort of ruffle girl socks. Way oversized head compared to the body. Big ponytails, they're non-articulated. I think it's really cool that we got a Baby Doll figure all those years ago, and it's cool to revisit this again. If she wants to stand, there we go. And a closer look at her face and head sculpt. Now for her accessory. We have a baby bottle. You can see it's got the nipple on top. It looks to be full of milk. It can be useful for all these people out there crying. Maybe I could let them borrow this baby bottle. Now for her height. And she's very short, as you can imagine. from bottom to the top of her head, standing at about 2.5 inches tall, which can translate to 6.5 centimeters. And now for her articulation, which is quite limited, but she's sort of a pack-in or accessory to Killer Croc. So, starting with her head, of course, you can rotate from side to side. It is on a ball joint, can go up and down at least a little bit. Arms, they can go up, they can go down. That's about it. She does have a waist swivel in there. And then her hips, forward, back. So, I'm pleased that she has some articulation, but it is pretty mild and basic. Now to look at the differences between this baby doll and the original DC Direct release. Now the paint job looks to be a lot brighter and more vibrant on the McFarlane version, and quite bland on the old one. So let's take a look. We'll start with the hair. It's a much better looking blonde. This one here, like I said, it's just sort of washed. The faces, they're similar. The dress just looks so much better on the McFarlane one, and just so sort of bland and washed out on this one, and not much difference with the shoes and socks. So about 10 years ago, when the original baby doll was released, I wanted to make a custom version of her assistant, Miriam. Miriam was in Batman the Animated Series, and I don't think she was in the new Batman Adventures. She was in a sort of dress-up type outfit, and she had this very sort of boring look to her. Glasses, straight hair. She looked, I would describe as a very boring person, but she was up to no nonsense. When it came to fighting, she totally kicked Robin's ass. She kind of reminds me of Mercy Graves, Lex Luthor's assistant. And I made this custom, and it could be a little better, but I'm still really happy to have this character in my action figure world. So, it's on an old, sort of Rocky Figures, soft goods body. It's like a wrestling line. And I put a Sarah Connor head on her, because Sarah Connor had a very similar look. Not exactly attractive, just very boring. I put some glasses on it, repainted the hair orange, and, you know, she doesn't look exactly great, but I'm really happy to have this character in my Batman world. Here's Miriam, holding baby doll, just like it's a child of hers. And in case you don't know who I'm talking about, here's an image of Miriam and baby doll from Batman the Animated Series. Here's a look at Killer Croc and baby doll in the sewers. They lived together in the sewers while committing crimes for a little period of time. Of course, Killer Croc treated her like shit, so it didn't work out in the long run. And then here's a look at both the new McFarlane re-release set on the left, next to the original version on the right, both in the sewers. Which one do you guys like better? The original or the re-release? Personally, I think the re-release is significantly better, paint-wise. Now let's check them out, next to some other action figures, starting off with some other baby doll and Killer Croc figures. Here's the new baby doll, next to the original release from almost 10 years ago. And here she is, next to a custom version of her assistant, Miriam. Here's an old Toy Biz Marvel Legends figure I got a long time ago with the intent to turn into a sort of comic-style baby doll. But then they released the actual version from the cartoon, and I didn't feel it was necessary. Here's the new McFarlane re-release Killer Croc, next to the original version. I'd say I like the re-release paint job significantly better. And here he is, next to a couple of DC Direct Batman the Animated Series Killer Croc figures. The one on the left, with the sort of more pale skin, is the single release, and the one on the right is the pretty rare one from the GCPD Rogues Gallery 5-pack. Then, next to McFarlane DC Multiverse Killer Croc, this is a mega figure based off of Arkham Asylum. Both these figures are by McFarlane Toys, but in separate lines. And here he is, with all of my DC Direct and DC Collectibles Killer Croc figures. Here's this Croc, next to all my Mattel Killer Croc figures. Here he is, with an older Kenner Batman the Animated Series Killer Croc. And here he is, next to a Fury Planet Crocker figure. I use this as a Killer Croc fill-in. Works fantastic for that purpose. This is both the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive on the left and the regular on the right. Then, with the Spider-Man 2 Lizard, this also works for a Killer Croc fill-in. And now, next to a NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the Animated Series Leatherhead, also kind of works for Killer Croc. And now, with a wrestling Bray Wyatt sort of monster crossover figure, this also kind of works for Killer Croc. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. And finally, here it is, my entire collection of Killer Croc action figures. My Croc shelf is definitely over capacity at this point. And here's Killer Croc next to a bunch of different crocodiles. very appropriate accessories or animals to go with your Croc figure. Now let's check them out next to some other McFarlane DC Direct animated figures. Here's the rest of this wave, based off the new Batman Adventures. Two-Face, Killer Croc and Baby Doll, Batman, and Batgirl. Here they are, next to Alfred, who had a single release, Target exclusive. And here they are, next to the previous Batman the Animated Series wave. This is a Target exclusive, Collect-to-Build Condiment King. We have Robin, Batman, Condiment King, both versions of Scarecrow, and Mr. Freeze. Now the next Target exclusive wave, which is Collect-to-Build Lockup, should be coming out any day now. Mine keep getting pushed back with delayed notifications on the Target app. I hope they don't cancel on me, as I pre-order them with the original sale price. Then, with the McFarlane DC Direct, the Laughing Fish 4-pack. This is a Walmart exclusive. And now, here they are with McFarlane's first DC Direct offerings. We have the new Batman Adventures Batman, Batman The Adventures Continue, The Man Who Laughs, and Batman The Animated Series Catwoman. Here's a look at all the Batman villains, Batman The Animated Series style. These are done with DC Direct. Going to add Condiment King to this mix. And here's a look at all the different animated villains. The new Batman Adventure style. Different style, same universe. They all look fantastic next to each other. Now let's check them out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how they fit in, both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can mix them with. Since they're DC Direct animated figures, they're typically the 6-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of these smaller action figure lines I collect, and work my way larger. Here they are, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures, and some SH Figure Arts action figures. And now, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends, and some Mafex figures. Here they are, next to a pair of scissors. And here they are, next to some Mattel and Mezco DC figures. Then, with both some Jazzwares and Mattel wrestling figures. And now, with some NECA and DC Direct figures. Next, with some DST or Diamond Select toys, and some Jakks Pacific wrestling figures. And finally, with some McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. So overall, these are some pretty cool figures. I think the paint job is significantly better on these than the previous versions, but there's really nothing else different, and I would appreciate some more differences considering I've been all in since day one. And I realize I might not be the target audience. Maybe they're going for people that missed them the first time, because this is a very popular line. Still, the accessories are pretty cool. Baby Doll, I guess, is an accessory, but I consider a whole nother figure, and for that I am thankful. I love the obscure villains, and there is almost no one more obscure than Baby Doll. I say that, and they released Condiment King in the previous wave, who was arguably more obscure than Baby Doll because she was at least in 2 episodes. But get a little off topic here. Killer Croc, his articulation is kind of weak. He has no articulation in the knees. The shoulders and the elbows are also very disappointing. I also prefer the animated look, so he has a lot of things going against him. Baby Doll is just awesome, but I also prefer her animated look, and that's a little bit disappointing. If I were to rate these figures, probably going to give Killer Croc a 6.5 and Baby Doll a 7. Enjoying them for what they are, but they both could be a little better. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.